important when there's a lot of things on the agenda, but if you want to do it, that would be fine.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm not sure I can do this actually. The screen sharing recently broke.
Stop working. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. See, this is what happens. Yep. Black screen.
Yay.
Thanks, Google.
Okay.
Don't know what happened.
We are on the broadcast. Hello, everybody. We're just testing things over here today. Today is July 20th. This is a meeting to check in on outstanding design tasks for Backdrop CMS. We're just going to run through our existing agenda pretty quickly because a couple of the issues we are working on have gotten updates since the last time we did this meeting. So first up, we had been working on adding a style to indicate that content was unpublished in the basis theme. So if you are running Backdrop's default front-end theme, you can tell when your content is published or not, looking at the full node, looking at teasers, anywhere it's going to appear. And we'd had a couple of recommendations in that issue for putting a watermark under the text or over the text. And we've gotten some feedback from people that that was not accessible. And so I provided an example one of my other sites is using with how they handle displaying their workflow states. And Olaf had made that into a pull request that used a pseudo element to put the text that the content type was unpublished at the top of the article. And then Wes provided some feedback that he thought it might be better as a mark rather than a huge sort of red box, and recommended some styles that we're currently using on error messages. So if anyone has any opinions about what they want their unpublished content to look like, we've got now 3 separate approaches: the watermark, a big box at the top of the post, or a little mark next to the title. And we could use some opinions on which of those people like best, which of them they think may or may not have problems, what they would look like on full posts or teasers, just kind of help with the direction in which we should go on that. So I think we're definitely getting closer, but I would love to have more voices involved in that conversation. The issue is number 2269 in the Backdrop issues queue. The next thing we're working on is adding style sheets to the rich text editor so that when you're editing content, the rich text editor's fonts and line spacing matches what you would see on the front end when you're done creating that content. And so that issue is number 1198. And since the last time of this meeting, I've created a pull request that adds style sheets to Basis and 7. And in Basis and 7 both, we already had a separate style sheet, which was just the HTML element style. So it's really easy to just include that via the info file, thanks to the way that the rich text editor works. And then in Bartik, which is our only theme that doesn't have an elements only style sheet, I created a new one and copied only the element styles into it. And that's now included in the editor, so that hopefully all 3 of them should have similar styles on the back end as on the front end. Needs some testing. Issue for that one is 1198. And then the last issue that we're working on is making the views grid style responsive. And this is issue number 479. It's an outstanding one. I'm not sure there's been any progress on that lately, but I'm hoping to look into it today. Looks like we have a pull request that is underway, still needs work, but there's some great feedback in the queue, and we could move that forward. I'm going to give it a try today and see if I have any feedback for that as well. If not, I will just try and make a new pull request that addresses the existing feedback that's on there. So those are the only issues that are currently on the agenda for design focus. Those 3 are all scheduled for Backdrop 1.8. But we do have a lot more issues that are scheduled for 1.8 if you want to check out the milestone. And there's a lot of issues that are tagged with audience design in the backdropcms.org issue queue. So if you find something and you think it's a priority or something you want to work on with that label, we can move those forward as well. If you're particularly interested in the user experience, we don't have a particular tag in our issue queue for user experience issues, but we do use little square brackets at the beginning of the issue title with UX inside them. So if you search the issue queue for any issue tagged with UX, you can also find a bunch of stuff that will make using Backdrop a better experience. So that's all we have for today's agenda. I don't know, Nate, if you have anything you want to add in the world of design.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, these all look good though. I mean, covering, there's been a lot of activity on some of these things, but I think all of them are going in positive directions. The unpublished thing, that looks good, even though it's completely different than what we'd been attempting previously. The CK editor style sheets looks great. Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing extra. Just yay, everything's looking good actually.
Great. Okay. Well, if we don't have anything we should talk about, we should look for additional issues we think are design priorities, because if these ones get in soon, we'll need something else for this meeting agenda. So anyone who's watching now or watching later and wants to weigh in on what you think Backdrop, like an area of focus that we should look at, feel free to add a comment in our Gitter channel or create an issue and tag it with 1.8 and we can take a look at those. That's it for this week.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.